Flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be rarer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like Samantha, MacGyver. Alchemy on the track, make it lava. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. Singular or plural, she break numero uno. Colder than you.
Hey, it's your girl, Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the next edition of Ask Trap. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. You know I love doing these, you feel me? I'm gonna hop right into it. You heard? Let's get through some of this stuff on here. Y'all got some crazy minds when it comes down to a lot of the things y'all doing. First question up here comes from Triple Bean Jesus. Can we get track reviews? I don't do track reviews because I barely have time to do regular reviews. But now that we're getting into, you know, summertime, I'm free up some space. I'm bringing some new stuff to the table. I will start reviewing tracks that I feel is review worthy. You do have a review worthy track, and that's why you asked this question because, man, Triple Beam Jesus, aka Word Up, sent me a track called Barbershop Freestyle featuring Rock Marciano and Conway, produced by The Alchemist. I'm going to repeat that to you. He has a Rock Marciano and Conway track produced by The Alchemist. So I understand why you asked the question. I'm going to get around to doing all of that. But you feel me? When it comes down to Word Up, Triple Beam Jesus, you feel me? He's a real intriguing character as well. You know, I'm going to introduce y'all to him the right way when the time is right as well, too. But I do appreciate your question. Next question on here comes from the hip-hop historian at Watson3172. Shout out to PSA Hip Hop. Shout out to 3 Men Dre over there. You feel me? Y'all are both such inspirations to me. You feel me? Like, for real. I really admire what y'all do. And I try to formulate my craft into what y'all got going on over there as well. What's a better storytelling hip-hop song? The Mission by Special Ed or Meet the Parents by Jay-Z? Now, this is crazy because, all right, The Mission is like a fantasy storytelling track, and it's a dope storytelling track. You feel me? With Special Ed, he's like, you know, plays a persona like some, you know, secret drug dealing agent or some shit like that. He gotta go fight, you feel me, you know, Oriental martial art band. And if you watch the video, they all doing these dance moves and shit, backup dancers killing it and all of that. But it's a fantasy. Now, like, Meet the Parents is like real. It's like really real to me. That is something that could happen. Like, you feel me? You know, he talks about how these two people met. They had a kid. The father was not around. Cause like later on in time and stuff like that, the father winds up killing his son. Literally, you feel me? On some, you know, block bullshit and not really realizing what's going on. Two different styles of storytelling. One creative, one based in realism. This is not a fair question, but I gotta pick real over like fantasy. It's not a fair question, Watson. It's not a fair question, but I gotta go with Meet the Parents. All right. So thank you. I appreciate your support so much, Watson. Like for real, though. Like all day and all night. Like salute to you. Thank you so much for all your support. Next question on here comes from Obi the God. Who's got the best merch? And you want to say, you know, like, you know, it's Benny and Griselda and all this stuff out there, and they have the most like collectible merch, but like wearable merch, shit that, you know, we want to wear and stuff like that. El Camino has some dope merch when it, with his like anti-gun violence thing and the upside down gun and stuff like that. Ty Ferris has some dope merch too, with, you know, bars over bullshit and stuff like that. Some fly fitters coming out over there. I ain't gonna lie, Benny and his Pyrex glass is really killing it. Billy and the signed Pyrex things. I gotta get my hands on that. As always, Nipsey Hussle with the TMC Marathon Continues. That's really dope. Freddie Gibbs is putting out some fly merch with his Alfredo type of thing going on there. Like, he has his apron and shit that I need to buy. And he's consistently putting out different things where a lot of artists when it comes down to merch, they put out one set of shit and it sell out. You don't get the shit no more. You don't get nothing else after that. Where like he's feeding you all these pieces of merch from his Alfredo album and stuff like that. He got books and all type of stuff. I really appreciate what he's bringing to the table like that too. Willie the Kid has some crazy merch, at least for Dush March 2. You feel me? Over like Carhartts and stuff like that. I thought that was really dope because like if you a real ass nigga, you definitely have a Carhartt. Like I said, Fleet Lord was talking about he ripping his and shit like that. I'll rip my own when it comes down to some of this, but he has really, really dope merch. Big Ghost Limited have some dope merch out there. At least he had some dope sweaters and stuff once upon a time. Like Wu-Tang always has dope merch. It's just so well respected. Hieroglyphics has some dope merch too. Just on, some old school shit. Bring it to the table. And me, when I drop some merch, you feel me? I'll have some fly shit just waiting for y'all. You feel me? I just, I'm building it up. I want to make it, make sure that I'm giving y'all all the fucking salt in the game that I can. You feel me? Raise your blood pressure up. But I definitely do appreciate your question. Obi to God really, really does. A lot of merch out there. And that's the best way to support a lot of these artists that we do listen to. It's not by streaming. It's by actually, buying the albums and vinyls and stuff like that and participating in the merch. So really, really dope stuff out there. Next question comes from Trouble Smith. Do you look past DMX's personal issues when listening to his new music? Will you give him a pass, or do you still expect a high quality project from him? Now, it's weird because, I just did the review for that. And, like, at the height of his career, he's had these same, issues. You heard, and ain't nobody was digging into that shit then. I ain't coming to this project, trying to prey on his downfall or see how far along in his, like, personal issues he have gotten there. So he's also one that he's not going to let you slide. Like, he's not going to not talk about it. He's going to talk about his personal issues and stuff like that. So I definitely expect a high quality project from it. I expected, like I said, I did a review for it. You feel me? I don't think that we all, really, really, really respect what happened with the project. But, when it comes down to artists and stuff, when they talk about like addiction or this or that, the only thing I can't let slide when it comes down to me listening to an artist's music is if they are violent towards women. Like something like that, even though they might have the most misogynistic beat a bitch bars known to man, but if they're not physically doing that shit, I can appreciate what's going on there. But anything like that or fucking around with kids, I ain't gonna listen to the project to do that. But personal struggles like addiction and all of that, everybody has their own vices, so I don't really look at people like that. And that's some real nigga shit. Like, I'm a real like trap star. You feel me? Like, if I'm gonna sit here and downplay somebody because of their vices and stuff like that, hell no, I'm not gonna do that. So salute to you. Thank you so much for your question. Next question comes from Lucky. Lucky, what artists have the least quotable bars in the projects, but you enjoy how they sound sonically, and why? I retain bars so well. Like, listening to stuff, I have one of these things where I can remember the bars and stuff so well that I'm not gonna, like, to say somebody has the least quotable things or something like that. I always find something in there that'll like, catch me off guard if I'm listening to a project. I'm not listening to nobody just for pure vibes. I'm listening for the full package on there. So that's really, really hard to answer, because I'm not just listening to shit to be listening to the shit. If I don't like the shit, I'm gonna cut it off. I ain't trying to fucking, I got my own vibe shit I could put together. I ain't trying to do that with nobody's fucking bars. What artists have the most quotables? Right now for me, Rome Streets. I don't know, it's something about his bars where it's just like boom, 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 that them shits come out of nowhere. But I do I respect a lot of people in that field. Just right now is Rome Streets. Lucky, again, if you could manage one artist and curate their projects, who would it be? Now, somebody asked me a similar question like that on another episode of Ash Trap, and I said Young Pharaoh, because all the knowledge involved and stuff like that, and he spits. I would like to take that to another level dealing with him. But I chose to pick an artist that I don't like that. And if I can get my, not that I don't like him, it's just not my cup of tea. You feel me? I appreciate the lyricism that he brings to the table. But if I could sit down with Brownsville Ka, I think that we would be able to produce something fucking outstanding. You hear me? So I'm not gonna pick one of my favorites or anything like that. I'm gonna try to challenge myself in him. If ever given the opportunity, it would be Brownsville Con. Let me see what I could do with that to try, make him a little bit more, um, palatable for everybody. Because he's not for everybody, but he's for a lot of y'all. Y'all respect him a lot. Lucky, how many goddamn questions you asked me? What artist would you like to see work with one producer to push their pen? I would like to see Ito. I would like to see Ito work with like one major producer, and you can put anybody in that spot there that you want to push his pen. But I think he has something because he produces himself and everything like that and all of this stuff. But I would like to see Ito's pen pushed to that maximum level where he knows he's going to get maximum exposure and see what he brings to the table right there. So thank you so much, Lucky. Salute to you always. Keep the questions coming all day. I do owe you a review for Dave East and Mills. I still haven't listened to that, but you see I haven't forgot about it either. All right, next question comes from Pull Out and Jizz, and you are fucking loose for your at name. Do you like elevator style elevator music style beats? What you mean, like easy listening beats? Like easy listening hip hop beats? Yes, like you feel me? If it's so many like smooth tracks out there that I do like that shit. I just reviewed Left Lane the Don, you feel me? Left Lane OG, and that shit is full of what I think that you're saying here, production wise, and that shit is dope as hell and smooth as hell. So yes, I do like those type of beats if it's done well, just like anything else. So thank you, Pull Out and Jizz, like you's a nasty motherfucker. Next question comes from Easy Money ST. Why do we need more women in hip hop journalism? Why is it necessary? And some of the roadblocks you encountered along the way. Well, all right. Well, female perspective is needed in general because a lot of times in like hip hop, like let me just be candid, niggas feel like just because they niggas, like certain like a chick can't relate to a nigga's struggle, even though you got a girl, you got a wife, you got girlfriends and shit. We sitting here struggling right here with you. Like cops come for you, who you calling? Like you gotta call us to come get you and do all this shit and do all this running around. So yes, we do need more like women perspective hip hop journalism and stuff. Long as it's not in a condescending fashion. Like it has to be people, females who understand the struggle, and if they're not bringing something valid to try to change the struggle, if they're just trying to be, downgrading or something towards men, we do not need that type of shit here. We got to be in a community to build each other up. Roadblocks I encounter along the way, other it's weird because not me personally, I don't really give off that type of vibe where, I allow myself to be sexualized or anything like that. Like, y'all don't really play with me like that. I don't put myself out there like that, to do that. So roadblocks being a female, not really so. I'm more respected because I am a female and is this knowledgeable and this like have this like level of truth what I'm bringing here, that they respect me because it's a female voice that is not coming across like that. So I don't really encounter any roadblocks just being a female in the game. I will tell you, like, some of the people, just like hip hop wise, I've admired on the come up, females. Lisa Evers is one of them. She always brought that, community consciousness, how to change things and bring things to the forefront on there, as well as, hip hop type things on there. Just Wendy Williams again on the come up, just having that voice. And even though, like I said, she was somebody who dragged somebody in the mud, that type of thing is needed, as long as it's not overly condescending towards the males in our community. I don't mind that. Also appreciated Star Jones, even though that's outside of hip hop, and what she was able to bring to the table and just have her voice heard, even though she didn't look like everybody else on television. She was heavy set like me and all of these things. So I appreciate what she brought to the table when it comes down to that. Angie Martinez, just because like all the hip hop people, they respected her, they loved her, they give her exclusives. You feel me? They turned her into a fucking rap like rap star with a hard album and all of this stuff because they respect us so much. So those female voices is always there. I just don't like, if it's too like gossip. That's why I don't do a lot of that stuff. That's why I don't come across and blog on every tidbit of what goes on in hip hop and stuff like that, because some of that stuff just don't need to be rehashed. It don't need to be rehashed out there. You know what happened? It happened. I ain't trying to get views or this or that because all the real negative bullshit that going on. But I believe that my perspective, even in those type of things, will be just a little bit better than some of the other people that you see out there that's on radio every day and all of this, and not bringing nothing valid, no valid perspective to the table. Just that they want to gossip with niggas all day. I ain't be. But thank you so much, Easy Money ST. That's a great question. Next question comes from great_Diamond King. How do you feel about Killer Priest's verse on Fourth Chamber dissing RZA, Jizza, Ray, and Ghost? I feel good about it because you got to do what you got to fucking do. You heard? Thank you for that question. Next question comes from... Oh my God, yo, I'm in the building. You feel me? Man, that nigga's energy is so crazy. Anybody who's ever met him, he's like battle rap blog or whatever. Y'all know he's on 1,000. He's on go mode every chance you get. Yo, you feel me? He got me saying this shit. Can I take a road trip with you and catch up on dope albums up to date? This would, oh my God. Yes, you can. You can take a road trip with me and we listen to albums. I'll bring you full up to speed on everything you need to know and stuff like that when it comes down to that. But where the fuck are we going? I ain't going on a road trip to no fucking where. And I do like to ride around in luxury when I go places. So I'm just letting you know that. But we could definitely do that. You're so fucking silly. Just make sure y'all check out his channel and stuff like that. I'm in the building, battle rap blogger and stuff like that. He be outside. He goes to like majority of these events and stuff like that too. And like his energy is on 1,000. I really do appreciate what he brings to the table on his channel. And thank you so much for asking me a question over here. Next question comes from _Greco Millie. Do you listen to Willie the Kid music? A lot of people would dig his music. Yes, and I try to, anytime he drops a project, I review it. You feel me? He is one of these standout things that, what he is, him in the game, period, right? How long he's been in the game, the moves he's made outside of music is crazy. Like, he's somebody who, like, has curated music for like PBS documentaries about jazz and all this other stuff. When he spits himself, the way he's able to like set the tone and put like imagery and all of this stuff to it. Yes, I listen to him. Like, are you nuts? He had 2 fire projects last year, Capital Gains and Dutch March 2. Before that, so many albums from him. I just drew a blank on his albums, but yes, I do listen to him. Hope everybody listens to him too, and check out the channel because I have a couple reviews from his work from last year up there. Thank you so much, Greco Millie. Next question comes from Kev the Poet. Favorite verse or top 3 faves? Yo, this is really, really hard. This is not something that I just want to just like come out there off the top of my head and say, oh God, it's crazy. Like, just off the rip, one of my favorite verses, it would have to be like the whole Mass Appeal, Gangstar Mass Appeal song, Guru. That's one of them. It's something about like what the Lost Boys did on Renee that's coming up to me right now. Those is like those type of things, but it's too many out there for me to just name or even pick a top 3. But like that quintessential like song for me, hip hop song for me, other than Lil Kim's Queen Bitch, you feel me? It's like Mass Appeal because what he's saying there was very, very needed. So I appreciate your question on that. You got another question up here too. What do you look for in a rapper? Oh, you got a couple questions. What do you look for in a rapper? I look for style, delivery, flow, beat selection, and presence. Now, we are in the era where, your social media presence is just as important as like your stage presence was back in the day, but I'm looking for that. I don't I like diverse rappers. I like people that's able to make party tracks. I like people that's able to make you cry on a track. I like people that's able to give you that gully shit, be conscious, do this and that. I look for total packages in a rapper, and I got my little checklist of people that all of them apply. Even though in the underground we not partying enough. How many times do I have to say this? We're not partying enough in the underground. All we doing is selling hard and fucking stomping people out. We need to party some. You feel me? Pop a bottle, throw it on a bitch. This is what I need to hear from the underground. But I appreciate that question. A collaboration you want to hear? It's so, people, everybody is working with everybody. I just put out a tweet where I just want to see like the underground versus the mainstream. Like, I just want to see rap beefs. I don't really want nobody to collab with each other. You feel me? I don't want it to be friendly. I want it to be kind of dangerous and serious. I want, the best of the mainstream versus the best of the underground. And let's see what transpires. And let's see what good tracks come out of that type of stuff. Just in a friendly manner. I ain't trying to see, no beefs that spill over into the street. That ain't never been my style. But, you feel me? That's what I'm trying to see. Next question comes from Stephen M. O'Connor. If you gave Huss all the beats on Mac's new album, would it turn out better? Now, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't like questions like this. You hear me? If we gave Huss all the beats off of Pray for Haiti, would it turn out better? Not necessarily better. It would be fucking different, though. Because what Huss is able to do, he's able to give you complete, cohesive projects and thought ideas, and like, he is one of the best at giving you a full cohesive project that sticks to the script. It's not a lot of people out there that can do that. So even like, Pray for Haiti, I'm not gonna say it's disjointed anywhere in there, but what is the real concept of this album? Is you just spitting and getting out your grievances? Is it really you having a heartfelt thing for Haiti and trying to do this, or what is going on here? It's a bunch of tracks that was put together really well. There's no clear concept going on with Pray for Haiti, but if we gave Huss those beats, it would be a clear, concise, fucking like project that would stick to the script. So that's what I'm gonna say there. You're not gonna trick me into formulating no beefs and shit on this, but I appreciate your question. Next question on here comes from Mr. Monotone. Top 5 Griselda projects. Okay. Me personally, it's gonna be Tana Talk 3. It's gonna be Supreme Balente. I can't pronounce that shit at all. Whatever. I don't talk like that. It's gonna be the Black Tape. You know what? I think a lot of y'all need to revisit Conway's Black Tape. That, to me, like, even when because I listen to it often, it's one of my favorite projects, for real. When I listen to it, this is where you see him getting more comfortable, trying to not play around with his flow, but elevate his flow. In there, it's tracks on like Fish Fry. You see the start of him doing the things like he did on From a King to a God. You feel me? You see the start of those type of things happening on there. I really think it's an underrated project. One of my favorite tracks on there is the first track, like Devil's Work. Oh, God. Just another track on there just on top of my head, Alpaca. Just those type of things and those type of concepts of the track and stuff like that. You see the glimpses of the evolution of what he is turning into and what he has brought to the table within that short amount of time, because I believe that came out in 2018 or something like that. So you see those glimpses and stuff. You see those things going on there. Rejects 2, of course. I think that's one of the finer projects coming from there. And Plugs I Met, you feel me? Just off of that Fly God first one, too. It's so many. It's so many. Just have a top 5. I probably said 6 or 7 right there, but it's so many. But them right there, those are the ones for me. Thank you so much for your question, Mr. Monotone. Next question on here comes from King Gemini 7. Do you think Jay-Z will drop one last album, or you feel 444 was his last contribution to hip-hop? I don't think that 444 is his last contribution to hip-hop. I think that he will give us like one like just grand epic last album. I think 444 was really just show his maturity and his growth and how we've seen him grow. He had to do a couple things on there we might not get a chance to see him do again, but I think that he would be able to drop a project that would be more like, if you take Reasonable Doubt, and even if you did this with 444, you see the elevation and the growth. But I don't think that's a good end piece, and I think he knows that. You feel me? We just seen him flow crazy on the written testimony and all of this stuff. I think he would bring that type of element to his last album, and I think we do need to see that, where it's a hustler's mentality versus you've gained this experience and all of this stuff, and now let's compare these two bodies of work. I think that he would do something like that. Real shit. Next question on here comes from Just Let Me Be. How do you feel about Hov, period? Are you fucking crazy? You gotta ask me how I feel like Hov? I fucking listen. I like my first couple days on Twitter, like when I first got on Twitter, they call me like Hov with a wig on. They still call me this shit. I still say I'm Hov with a fucking wig on. That's how I feel about him. Do I appreciate some of the stuff that he did? Like, yo, I was really, really disheartened to see what he did, like on Picasso Baby, and he kissing a witch and all of this shit. Ain't anybody trying to see that shit. But like, I'm Hov tried true. You feel me? Like, that's like my big brother in the game. You can't knock it, you can't hold it, none of that shit. But I appreciate your question. I'm Hov in a fucking wig. But thank everybody for participating in this edition of Ass Trap. But I'm about to get out of here. Madam Money, you can follow me on Twitter and IG at Madam Money Says. That's MADAMMONEYSAYS. But as always, I'll be seeing you guys around. Peace.
Ready, steady, aim at the target. I'm flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be rarer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like Samantha MacGyver. Alchemy on the track, make it lava. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. Singular or plural, she break numero uno. Colder than you know.